guys, welcome to the new episode of Football Monks. I have with me KO, Rohit, and Romil. Today we are going to discuss the title winners of England, Liverpool, rising from the ashes just like a phoenix, clinching their 19th title. KO, what do you think? They are going for 20th one and matching United?
I fear them. I definitely fear them. They definitely can do it. I don't want them to do it, but with Klopp and the players which he have got, I mean, scoring about 90 points for two consecutive seasons, almost it's not an easy feat, and they have done it. I fear them for the 20th one.
Okay, great. Rohit, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I definitely think Liverpool are favourites starting this season to win the title because they're defending champions, first of all. They've not lost any of those players, and they've arguably got one of the best managers and you can have at the moment in football. So
Right, right.
I think they're definitely going to be there, and I think Klopp has built a brilliant culture. He's built a great team that plays for each other. So I think they're going to go for it again. But yeah, there is going to come a time where they might need to freshen up things because teams always cycles always end. So I think by December we might know that, but I think this season they are going to be very strong and difficult to beat once again.
Sure. And Romil, I would like to know your views about the scene.
So I definitely think that Liverpool will have the 20th title, but not this season. But they can definitely have it before Manchester United have their 21st. So I'm very sure on that. But this season, I the lack of signings again, and due to COVID, the season is crunched. UCL and all the cups, and then you have the EPL, and the only thing that was a constant problem for Liverpool was the squad strength. Nothing in the defense, nothing in the attack, nothing in the midfield. It was only the squad strength. And this time, after 2 seasons, it will be tested. Uh, it will be tested the most. We have to. They need to have each and every player right on toes. Be very lucky with the injuries like they have been over the last 2.5 seasons. So yeah, if all things fall into place, then they have a good chance at the title, or else I see them a bit exhausted as and when the season develops.
So I am having a very unpopular opinion. I think Liverpool will go down of top four. Maybe they'll end fifth or sixth because last 2 or 3 seasons playing the pressing games and players aging, not getting in signings. I think the wear and tear has to occur. As Romil mentioned, they have been lucky with injury, but I think it's time they will have an issue with the same.
Dixit,
Uh,
Liverpool fans are going to come on you with this opinion of yours.
But
let's see. Let's see. I hope
we saw a very big smile on KO's face when he heard they are not
I
even
mentioned.
gonna come in the top four. So yeah, KO, you can just help
But
us
but
see
I
what
doubt.
they need to
Top
do
four is
to
there
get
for
into
them,
the top
and
four or top two
Uh,
for that matter in the squad way or transfer strategy, something like that.
no. I mean, they are going to finish in the top four, definitely. Even
Okay.
top two, top four is not even the question. Top two, definitely. They're a very, very good team, a very oiled team. The midfield, in compared to teams of Chelsea, United, City, their midfield is not something, like the popular names and that so. But they run very well under Klopp system, and and if they get Thiago, it's a complete smooth ride for them. Attack will come from the center. They are heavily dependent on Mane and Salah for scoring the goals. But what with Thiago coming in, from goals will come from the center as well. So it's a very important signing for them if they end up making him. But right now it hangs in the balance. With the owners not shelling out 30 million for him. It's a steal in this market. Let's hope he comes to United or even Barcelona if they are interested in him.
Rohit, what's your take on the squad strength and focusing more on midfield with Naby Keita being injury free finally and talks about Gini Wijnaldum leaving? What are your thoughts?
So I think if Wijnaldum leaves, then Thiago is definitely coming in. I don't think there is any doubt about that now. It's a chain deal definitely. If Wijnaldum leaves, that money goes straight in for Thiago. And I think if Thiago comes in, then Liverpool should then sign sort of a pure number nine, a goal scoring, sort of a forward. Because then what is Firmino going to do? Because Thiago is always going to be in those pockets, right? And to put the ball in there. So I think that signing a forward can sort of change Liverpool's game, but I don't think they have the money for that. But yeah, if they sign Thiago, then I think they're going to be unstoppable again because they're going to attack in a different way then. And who better than Salah and Mane to make the runs for Thiago to put the balls, right? Because so I
Robin,
think
what's your take? As Yeah. So as Rohit mentioned, Thiago coming in is going to be a game changer, and Firmino not scoring is an issue. Being squad strength, as you mentioned earlier, Shaqiri coming in and not scoring as much as required or not up to the mark as Salah and Mane are. What's your take on the squad strength and this heavy metal placing game of Liverpool?
So I think they are very well stacked in the midfield for that matter. If Wijnaldum goes and they get Thiago, then it opens up another dimension. We see them attacking a lot from the flanks and everything. But if Thiago comes in, as Rohit mentioned, they need to get a forward then to get the maximum out of Thiago Alcantara. Then I see them moving Salah in the front, and he has a very good runs. And in the most of the games, we do see Salah or Sadio Mane coming in the center, Bobby Firmino dropping back on the defensive midfielder. So we might see a right winger popping up somewhere. They have that new signing, and maybe Shaqiri playing on the right, and Salah being a center forward. So yeah, things can. Uh, I still feel they need a center forward, a pure center forward, just for the squad strength. I don't see the legs of Salah and Sadio Mane being there for entire 38 games, as well as the Champions League, as well as the Cups. And this season is a bit short. So they need something in the attack for sure. Defense is sorted out. I think they have all the positions covered. Goalkeeper thing is also very good. Midfield is more than sorted. So I think one more attacker, especially attacker, is needed. A striker.
Yeah.
So Dikshit, I want to
Uh,
ask you over here that Trent, Robertson, and Van Dijk, entirely the complete defense had a stellar season last season. But if anything
right.
happens to Van Dijk, how are they going to cope up with it? Any injury? And even for that matter,
Uh,
even Robertson or Trent, because they have been popping goals in and out for them. If any of them gets injured, then how is it going to affect them?
So I think when
yeah.
Dixit said
This
out
is
of top four, he was expecting Van Dijk to get injured for 6 months. We don't hope that for when, but I
like
think Dixit had
uh,
some prediction on that.
I think Van Dijk is too fit a player. I don't think he's going to suffer a major injury. He's just too fit, and I think he does not do a lot of running around unless Liverpool are
That's
trailing
true.
him and then they put all the 10 players in the opposition's half. So I think he's a very smart player to get injured as well. He doesn't. He's well positioned. It doesn't sprint a lot. So
so
for Van Dijk to
when
get
we
injured,
see
there needs to be something really
Yeah.
extraordinary. Yeah.
as you know, Keyur mentioned, it is more about Trent and Robertson rather than Van Dijk when it comes to the attacking spree of Liverpool. But I believe Liverpool are well covered with. We saw glimpses of Nico Williams last season doing really good. So he is there to cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And if you have been following international friendlies, he just scored 94th minute winner for Wales. He was lauded very greatly by the likes of Aaron Ramsey and Gareth Bale. So I have high hopes from Neko Williams, and obviously they have got the new Greek signing from Olympiacos. So he'll cover for Robertson as well. So Liverpool are working very smartly on saving their assets. And when it comes to centre back, obviously injury prone Gomez is always going to be a liability. But he has shown glimpses of his past himself when he was really good under Brendan Rodgers. Uh, Van Dijk, as Rohit mentioned, it is very difficult for him to get injured because the play style he plays so safely, so calmly. And I think Matip is an able deputy. But if Liverpool signs a good centre back, it won't hurt them. It will always push them to go up higher. So let's see how they do it.
But I definitely think centre back is not a priority for them because
That's true.
yeah, I think and once Thiago comes in, I think Robertson is not going to go that forward because then the attack from flanks is definitely going to
Right.
be controlled. And
I,
I think no one is speaking about Minamino, but I think Minamino is a fantastic player, and he can definitely fill in for Firmino, Mane, Salah, all of them. So I think they have the strength to compete. It's just about how Klopp decides to manage his players and
I
get the
think
Uh,
best.
the centre back, we saw glimpses of Fabinho when Matip was injured and Gomez not having good games. We
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
Fabinho
He
slotting in. And maybe if they deploy a 3-5-2, Fabinho is a very good guy to be a right center,
right, right.
right center back. And then you have the likes of Trent and Robertson going charging down or playing as wing backs. So it gives them a lot of formations, changes, and everything.
And they
So yeah,
also
I think they're very well stacked at the back, especially. So the only thing is
to
a
get
center
what
forward.
and to fill in midfield, they also have Chamberlain. Chamberlain was injured
That's good.
for a long time, but Chamberlain is definitely someone who can. So Klopp won't lose Wijnaldum because Chamberlain has that energy and that sort of a game to fill in for Wijnaldum when Klopp wants to play that sort of a game, you know. So I think they're well covered. I think in
when we
all
speak
parts.
of transfer strategy, we have to understand that the owners of Liverpool comes from USA and their sporting experience a lot comes from their Boston Red Sox. So, to give you a brief about how it works in the baseball, it is like they trade a player for one they have lost. So, with this mentality, and last week's the same owner statement coming in that why don't the EPL follow the baseball rules that if this is a champion team and we lose a champion player, we replace someone with a champion like that. So maybe as Rohit mentioned earlier, only if Vinaldum goes, we can see Thiago coming in. But now it is the owners of Klopp and other management to tell the Fenway Sports to get signings in.
So
Keyur,
I,
what do you think? Where will Liverpool? Yeah,
I
please go ahead.
think they'll definitely finish in the top two. And coming to a point with regards to their spending, it, I stumbled upon the article from Swiss Ramble today, and they are following a very cautious approach. Because some of their profits are not coming from the area where they are expected to be, and that's why the spending is a bit cautious this time. I mean, for a Champions League and an English Premier League winning team, they might have the funds, but the policy is something different, and that's why the fans are frustrated.
So what do you think? Where will Liverpool finish, and what will be their defense about the title? How will they go along with it?
They will have a very good season, definitely. Top two for sure. Let's see. It's always up to in December you will be able to predict.
Yes. So Rohit, what do you think? Where will they finish?
I think they're favorites for the title, and worst case they'll finish second. I don't see them going lower than that, but yeah, they start as favorites for sure.
Romel, your take on it?
I think outside top two, so I'll give them a third. I see a surprise Manchester United, a surprise Chelsea, or a surprise Spurs taking the second spot. I don't know. I think Chelsea or Spurs are more somewhere I feel that this could be a surprise, a shock season for Liverpool. Not a very big shock as you had predicted outside top four, but definitely somewhere outside top two. This is my take. Just seeing things where we stand now, but things change very quickly in football.
Right. So as I said earlier, I expect Liverpool to finish outside top four. Maybe a injury or a lapse in form, which we saw post lockdown, infers my thought to go that way. Let's see. That's a wrap from us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.